Have you ever been in a road rage sort of situation? Well, if not that, you must definitely have seen an idiot on the road. And today we have a mix of both for you. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode on our channel where you learn every day that it's better to just drive a tank on the road so these guys don't harm you. Grab your snacks and sit back as we jump right into it. These two idiots on the road make it their playground as they have a battle of who brake checks the other. They take turns and speed up when the other does to catch up to them. Even after almost ramming the SUV off the road, the truck driver is still not satisfied. In the middle of the night, which seemed peaceful at first, this driver was overtaken by another driver in a very rash way. Upon being rewarded the high beams of hell, they got angry and brake-checked this poor guy into an accident.
Fuck you! Fucking idiot. What the fuck?
Violence is never the answer, and if it is for the other guy, it's best to use something that's much less harmful than fists. Like a fire extinguisher? This bus driver did just that when an idiot decided to fight him and put him in his place with suffocation. On the other hand, this poor driver doesn't even know what he did to cause so much anger on the other driver's part. They began brake checking them, but thankfully he knew how to use brakes as well.
I will hit you. Trust me, I will hit you.
Surgical bed's already boarding there until the door opens up. Give me that.
Some people have such a fragile ego that they just get offended when someone tries to overtake them. A truck driver showed he is a part of those people, and when this driver overtook him, he wasn't having any of it. This BMW driver was having too much fun with his car and recklessly drove between and around cars like he had no care in the world. His ignorant behavior proved to be his own downfall when the car spun out at the very end. You might have seen some mirrors on your car's doors. Yeah, those things are pretty important when driving, and the driver of the white car chose to ignore them while changing lanes, resulting in a pileup that they did not want to be a part of. When you see someone struggling to back their car out of their own driveway, it would be best to stay clear out of their way because they might be idiots like this CRV driver who doesn't know how to drive. Not only did this Jeep driver almost hit two cars by pulling out on the road at the worst time, later down the line they were about to hit two more at an intersection which was clearly made not us but not them. At this point, I would like to blame the driver on this camera car who had the red car in clear view and had time to hold the horn but not the brakes. A clear case of road rage only to play the victim later. Idiots on the road will do the least expected thing just when you think, yeah, today is gonna be a good day for me. There was no reason for this van driver to do this except for stupidity. People really have a lot of hate for bikers, and while it might be justifiable in some cases, it is definitely not in this case. The poor guy even got bonked by a bat slightly. Stop signs are just useless at this point because nobody is ever in the mood to stop at them, and these two idiots prove that point as they casually just drive on through and hit each other. On a straight stretch of road in broad daylight, who would not see a parked car right in front of them, broken down with hazards on? But this guy probably thought about insurance money after seeing what car it was. While merging onto the freeway, a driver brake checks the person behind them, who are taken by surprise and brake harder than needed, only to end up spinning out of control, hitting another innocent driver. You might be cocky, but you can never be as cocky as this car driver who thought he was driving an F1 car instead of a brick of a van. The end result, they end up crashing, of course, and ruining another car in the process. Have you ever met an idiot on the road that is such an inconvenience that they just force you to change your destination and go the other way? Not only did this fool of a driver pull out at the worst moment, but they also decided to slow down in front of this truck. And we all know trucks take a long while to slow down. While crossing this intersection, one driver got so angry at being cut off and almost crashed into that they spun around and stopped the other driver to tell them what hearty words they had for him after brake checking them.
Auzi, a zis să te bagi în mașină. Hai, bagă-te în mașină un pic.
For some odd reason, these guys decided that a parking lot on the 3rd or 4th floor would be the best place to check the top speed of their car. As a result, this cost them dearly, and almost their lives too. Keep your eyes on every car you're around, because you never know when someone could decide to change their way, like this Corolla driver who decided to turn after crossing half of the intersection. This driver suffered from his own stupidity when he had a trailer and a car both left on neutral and without their brakes on. If this isn't cartoonishly funny, then I don't know what is. I don't know who to blame for this one, the driver at the front, the driver coming from the other side of the overall management that made this bridge in the first place. You know you messed up when not only the driver you had your road rage fit with gets angry at you, but all the pedestrians around you start running towards you to mess you up. Some people are so dumb that they don't even know how to argue after hitting their cars with one another. Just listen to their conversation. I guess now we know what happens when two idiots meet.
I was coming into this lane to get into there, and you said, "There's your mark spray." Where were you doing? I was coming into here to go into there, and you overtook me, bro.
This woman noticed a truck driver harassing another driver because of a road rage incident, and she was brave enough to get out of her car and tell him to shoo away.
Hey, leave her alone! Leave her alone! I'm filming you! I'm gonna turn this into HD! Leave her alone! Leave her alone! I don't give a fuck! Leave her alone! I'm gonna turn it into HPD! I'm gonna call the cops!
This driver got so heated in his argument from across the road while driving that he probably forgot that he was driving on a busy highway and rear-ended another poor driver.
What's up? Let's go where? Fuck you, man. Fuck you. Go fuck yourself.
Someone with a very questionable taste in cars pulled up right in front of this driver and started raging their anger away. They sped off into the distance, but when this driver caught up to them, things took another funnier turn. The driver of this sedan cut in front of a truck in a very dangerous manner, and thankfully the trucker managed to brake on time, but that little and stupid offense did not go unnoticed, and an officer quickly caught up to them.
Good job, guys. Good job. Very good job.
Speaking of which, a bunch of knobheads hopped out of this truck and started throwing fists and sticks at this red car, who managed to flee to safety, but when they decided to chase after them, the police came just in time.
Oh, I fucked up.
Whenever you see a diesel truck that's lifted and speeding down the road, just make sure to stay clear of them, because either they're stupid or they're just too ignorant to understand anything. A Jeep Cherokee driver came speeding past cars on this double-lane road, and when the road wasn't enough for them, they managed to take their car off the road and into the air. Burning rubber is cool and all, but this BMW driver clearly lacked the skills for it, and whilst they did pretty good at the start, the ending was not up to mark at all. If you're gonna throw your water bottle at someone, just don't be stupid enough to keep the window down and stop at the next red light right with them. This has to be the fastest car to cross the intersection ever. The hit was so fast that if you blink your eyes, you wouldn't see the Corolla getting hit by that car. Is it me, or are cops losing their training prowess slowly? Because that Dodge drive took 10 business days to get out of that sticky situation, and the cops were not able to do anything at all. A Mustang driver that's in the middle of their road rage fit is probably the most dangerous type of driver out there, and these people worked together to contain this guy who's still trying to push his way out.
Get in the car! Back away!
There must have been something pretty big that happened between this lady and the other driver for her to be trying to smack his windows open with her bare hands and feet. Like a dog out of hell, this pickup driver goes around the other cars to catch up to the other driver, and was not done with them yet. They rammed right into them, and even when they tried to flee, he was hot on their trail. Having a Model X is nice and all, but some drivers don't really deserve nice cars. This lady ended up costing a really big dent in both her door and her wallet. Dad's not going to like that one. This video starts off pretty cinematic, a nice Mustang with a train in the background, but enough was enough, and the Mustang came into its own after taking the turn and crashing into a car meters away from it. These bridges are becoming a nightmare for these truckers, or maybe it's the other way around. Imagine the face of the owner who was supposed to be getting that car that's now been turned into a convertible. Who needs 4 wheels when you have 3 and an empty skull? This guy is proving everyone wrong and shows us just how good they are at driving with a wheel missing. This driver records another man venting his heart's anger out at him, and he knows since he's inside, he probably doesn't care much. So he gives him something to care about by smashing the mirror off. Road rage can go both ways if you're not careful. It could end up backfiring for you too, like it did for this guy who messed with an undercover officer and even left his car on drive. And here is why, folks, you should never speed on roads you're not familiar with. This beautiful GTR went flying when the driver failed to see the speed breaker on time. Not only is this driver driving on the wrong side of the road, but it seems they're completely blind to the car that's coming right at them, and as a result, they have a head-on collision.
Sure. Check your ass!
This Tesla driver might have chosen a good car to burn some rubber, but their timing could not have been worse. And as soon as they're done, cops enter the scene and do their rightful part as well.
Oh, shit!
Something ticked the driver of the Jaguar off, and they came around to take revenge. However, the revenge they got wasn't the type they thought it would be when they brake-checked this driver. This CCTV camera caught one of the worst moves made by any driver on the planet. A car goes from the far right lane to make a left turn, that too from behind a truck. There's no redeeming themselves from that one. What do you do when the drive-thru takes too long to get to you? You try and push the other cars to make the line move, of course, like this impatient and angry driver. Looks like someone woke up on the wrong side of the bed or never even went to bed that night, as this driver flips their car over by hitting the concrete rail on the side. In a not-so-brilliant and smart move, this driver decided to brake-check this truck for some reason, and that did not fall into their plans exactly. Those cops were there at the very right time. A car comes out onto the road at the worst time and gets rear-ended the heck out of itself when this driver failed to even notice this stupid mistake.
I'm gonna get the feeling Caffrey's up to something.
If there was a video for people being at the right moment at the right time, it would be this one for these cops who caught someone trying to break through a red light right in front of them. This gray Range Rover decided they're gonna take this very exit right this moment and made the move only to cause a massive crash on the interstate highway. People can be really petty sometimes, and these two are dishing it out in the drive-thru for who goes first. Who do you think was in the wrong for this one?
See that yellow line, lady? That yellow line right there?
You know the car is stolen when you see this Corvette driver make the worst move, and that too on purpose, just to get cheers from people that are just as dumb as he is. This guy is trusting his braking assist a little too much as he risks hitting the car in front of him, leaving all the braking to his car, and things don't go as planned for him when the car decides to turn it off. This driver was too busy lost in their own head and did not even see this massive post right in front of them. These idiots decided to play tag in the middle of this busy road and sped up. The driver at the front, however, was not able to keep control and ended up crashing really bad. This truck driver has a Challenger trying to compete with them for the lane, and the idiot driver gets a little too bold for his own taste until the inevitable happens. After crashing into a fire hydrant, this car is slowly lifted up into the air, and it seems these things don't just happen in cartoons, but happen in real life as well. Tesla's autopilot and safety features might help you tackle everyday issues on the road, but when you're this stupid, even computers and machines can't help you, it seems. This truck pulling a trailer is fleeing from the cops, and all of this looks like a scene from GTA. If we're vocal about it, they might even put this scene in the new actual GTA. Either this Nissan Micra driver was too drunk at this time of day, or someone just got behind the wheel of the car for the very first time in their life. Regardless, it makes for a very funny scenario. Slippery and snowy conditions ask for drivers to drive calmly and peacefully, yet this driver, who was clearly out of their mind, decided to drive over the safe limit and spins out of control. A wedding convoy turns into a road rage moment when a Mercedes driver gets into a fight with a tractor over who will take their position up behind the bride and groom's car. This driver drives along the highway traffic, making speedy and smooth cuts between cars, and slowly but surely he tries his luck a little too much. As he drives on the shoulder, things take a turn for the worse. A Mercedes driver was seen raging it out with another driver on the road to overtake one another, and everything went south as he failed to squeeze through the cars, crashing onto the side. Here's another fool that was trying to thread the needle between two cars on the road when they ended up getting pit maneuvered because of their own stupid driving. In an extreme case of road rage, this driver tries to flee the white car that seems to be trying to get him to stop. He even goes onto the other side of the road, but to no avail. Eventually, after a lot of brake checking, he stops and, well, here's a message to all those drivers that can barely drive normally and decide to give it the beans anyway. Please don't do that, or you'll end up like this driver here.
Oh shit! Oh my god! Oh my god!
The worst pullout award goes to this driver, who makes sure that the other car is as close to them as possible before driving out onto the road and causing an accident which could be easily avoided.
An asshole!
The car on the left is driving on the wrong side of the road with their headlights off and has a very close call with an oncoming car before correcting themselves.
Oh, damn!
Comment down below if you think this accident was on purpose or because of stupidity. In any case, I hope they don't drive ever again. Just because you have a blinker on does not mean you have the right of way. Respect lanes and the people driving on them already. A white SUV driver decided to run a red light, and when they got hit, the car came barreling down the road. A driver runs a red light, first hitting a Tesla and then a Prius, and I don't think they are the environmentally friendly type of people.